Hola futuros compañeros del Valhalla, bienvenidos un día más a mi canal, al canal de Rudex Norris. Y estamos aquí siguiendo en el directo de The Witcher, que tenéis abajo en la descripción un link para poder ir a verme.
Polly and her half-brained fiance. They're fighting. She's the only one in this town who knows anything about choreography, and that lummox won't let her work for me. Hold on. What are you doing here?
Ya, ¿sabes?
The Rosemary.
We were, but you didn't show. Priscilla started to worry, so I came to see how you were doing.
Priscilla started worrying about me? That's so nice.
Less for her than for you, I'm sure. So let's get back.
Did you not hear what's going on in there? We've got to help Polly. Why do you
Porque lo deciden ellas.
end up with such dicks?
Es curioso que digas tú que...
No idea. Stand back. I'll
Tío,
break the
que
door
tampoco
down.
tienes que hacer eso.
Wait, do we have to destroy her house? She keeps a spare key around here somewhere.
Ya es que,
How do
por
you
favor.
know she keeps a spare.
It's not as if we started working together yesterday. Before Polly joined forces with Hubio,
You'd visit her often.
I'd hide out here while Priscilla and Polly rehearsed at the Rosemary and Thyme. They worked on the dance numbers I composed.
So, Polly's not one of your.
I never mix business and pleasure.
The one exception being Priscilla.
Who you were just saying is worried about us. So enough of the chatter and start looking.
Ay, ya es que... A ver, ya es que...
Letting such miscreants into the city.
Por ejemplo...
Find anything?
¿Esto?
Not here.
No, no. Vale. Joder, Geralt.
Not here.
Ya, venga. Gracias.
Not here.
Coño, Geralt, por amor de Dios.
An abomination.
Not here.
No here.
The key.
Pues tampoco es que estuviese en un sitio...
Damn it. Now
Sería mejor en el
where would she
cuenquecillo.
be?
¡Hello!
Whoa! What the devil's this? Get out of my house!
Watch it and leave the woman alone.
What the? She's my betrothed.
But I'm not your property.
Ahí, ahí.
I love her. I'll not let her sway her ass in his brothel.
Whoa, slow down there a minute. This is clearly one gigantic misunderstanding. One I can clear up in the blink of an eye.
Shove your excuses up your ass. Sod off. or I'll split
¿Perdón?
your skull.
O te rompo la
My
cabeza.
friend asked you nicely, so please be courteous in return and hear him out, or we'll settle this another
Joder, no ha
way.
dicho eso.
All right. Talk.
Hubio, right? Polly's told me so much about you. She said you're erudite and have an open mind.
You said that. Well, there's a truth to it. My mind's the open salt, but it's open
Pero es que
salt
no va a
to
enseñar
my
nada si
betrothed
no
starts
quiere.
wagging her ass around brothels. Get out of here, both of yous. Polly's not going anywhere.
Que tío, está...
Let him finish. There's no brothel involved.
You see, friend, Geralt just hit the nail on the head. For what you have there is the old publicity placard.
Old?
Very. From a time when my establishment was under different management. I, however, would never let any indecency take place in my cabaret. My very reputation precludes it.
So, what's all this about?
Your betrothed is a first-class artiste, and I want to offer her a position worthy of her talents. She's to be my choreographer, and that in turn means she'll receive a share of the proceeds from every performance she choreographs.
You mean to say coin?
sí.
Fame. No flirting required. You have my word.
Suppose. In that case.
I knew you'd agree.
It's settled then. See you at the Rosemary, Polly.
Y ya está, tío. Hablando se entiende la gente.
I'll catch up to you.
Hablando se entiende la gente, a no ser que sean putos normales que hay que reventarlas.
Never expected that to go so well.
Hombre, claro. No, lo han hecho muy bien.
Well, Dandelion. Man was body in your hands once you called him Harry.
In negotiation, as in combat, the key is to
Sí,
find
la verdad es que sí.
spot
Muy
and
cierto.
exploit it to the hilt.
So, time to head back.
I've still got to stop by Rotlex. Commissioned some new placards from him a while ago, but Hubio came across the old version. Plowing artists got some serious explaining to do.
Voy contigo.
I'll go see Rodlick. You head back to the Rosemary. Priscilla will have my head.
Really? You'd go?
Sí.
No, said that for the hell of it. Tell me where he lives.
Portside.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Letting such
2 puntos de experiencia. ¡Toma! 2 puntos de experiencia para el nene. Con eso me puedo sobar los huevos y a lo mejor queda un poquito más limpios con esos 2 puntos de mierda. A lo mejor, quizás, no sé. ¡Vámonos! ¡Vamos, gentuza! Arriba, abajo, arriba, abajo. Ay, bueno, esto le daba al colega. Arriba, abajo. Vamos para allá, tranquilísimamente. Yep. Hola, buenas. Yep. Yep. Buena tarde. Vaya. Me pregunto. Hoy va la jarra esa de agua, creo que es. Buenas tardes, caballeros.
Looking for Rodlick.
You ain't alone. Damn halflings in debt to half the city. But I'm here to scrape mine before the carcass is picked clean.
There's not enough for everyone, so bugger off. Feeding time's first come, first served.
You're not gonna rob him.
Strange, don't recall asking your permission. Get him, Fred!
Pero ¿por qué siempre vais con lo mismo? Espérate que no me dejan pegar fuego a esta puta. Que no me toques. No me toques. No me toques. Le pego a la nada y te reviento. Que esto no es una de las misiones estas. Que te reviento la cara, hostia.
What you want? Damn it!
Placards.
There ain't no ploughing placards here.
And Rodlick, where's he?
Same place as always. Vehicle butter state. Losing his last crowns at the races.
See? Wasn't that easy? Could have said so right away.
Es que sois unos cafres. Y me llevo un pan. Voy a ser puto amo. Estoy mirando el directo. Que es que le tengo que... Seguramente cuando haga el directo de The Witcher, después trastoqué un poco con las opciones e intente ponerlo en su máximo... Tal y como veo yo los juegos, ¿sabes? Porque lo veo como granulado. Quita, coño. No sé. Es que le pongo a 720p, 60 FPS y me dicen sí, sí. Que te lo has creído. No sé si es que es porque estoy grabando o algo así, pero no sé. No sé, no sé. Joder, a dónde coño me tengo que ir, tú. Vale, aquí. Los cojones, voy a irme yo andando 800 metros. Venga a tomar por el... Bueno, 800 pies, mejor dicho. Buenas. Estoy aquí de visita, no os preocupéis. Bueno. Pásalo.
You Rodlick?
Henri Rodlick, artist, painter, debtor, and martyr to my art. At your service.
Así me gusta.
Dandelion sent me.
Oh, yes. Tell him his placards are done and safely hidden away. Yet, alas, I cannot fetch them, as a group of angry creditors has seized my home.
think I might have run into one of them.
Then you know my predicament. And now Count de Louverton has offered me the chance to win it all back. I'm to wager on a race.
What's there to worry about? This is your chance to settle up, get a clean slate.
You've had a spell of bad luck lately. Should I agree to de Louverton's offer and lose, I shall be in bondage to him for all time.
Toma, nada.
Let me pay off your debt. No strings attached.
Thank you. I never expected this. May I ask to what I owe this generosity?
Let's just say I like to do a good deed from time to time. Can we get those placards now?
I'll bring them to the Rosemary in time, just as soon as I settle my obligations.
Fine. See you there.
Ahí.
Right.
Vale, tranquilito que también me ha pillado a mí, ¿eh? ¿Tú qué? Paso. Ahí, en la carrera. Es que no me apetece. Joder, tonto soy. Pues obviamente si tenía que hacer esto, de venir aquí. Joder, Gerald, tu polla, ¿sabes? Vamos, ni de coña hago yo eso. Venga, va. Romero y tomillo. A tope. ¡Ay! Vamos para allá. Me encanta. Tienes que ir a por las personas para que consigas cositas. Vale, vamos a por ellos. Oye, que me ayudas con hacer un bar de meretrices. Dice, bueno, no sé. Se callarse ya la mierda. Todo el mundo. Pasa, locos. Buena. Hostia, qué guapo tú. Pasa, locos.
Well, well. See, the crew's been hard at work. Not bad.
I love it. Especially the, accoutrements on the wall. What about Rotlick? Did you get the placards?
Nos traerá.
Rotlick said he'd bring them on his own. Should be here soon.
Great! The best way I can think of to promote the chameleon.
Ya no se llama Romero y Tomillo.
Never mentioned wanting to change the name.
Rosemary in Time wasn't all bad, but it conjured images of Temerian cuisine served by waitresses in peasant garb. Chameleon's a lot better for a cabaret, apart from which it emphasizes that the place has undergone a transformation. Just a better ring to it all round.
Le toma por el culo, ¿no?
What about choreography? Prepared anything special for the opening?
We haven't, but Polly has. She's priceless. Came in and brought the girls in line before I could say knickers. Premier will have the audience on their feet, on their knees, both at the same time.
No sé si es una referencia sexual.
So when's the opening?
Soon. We start our dress rehearsal in an hour. I just need to nip back home for my dress.
Hasta luego.
Thanks for everything.
Don't mention it.
Seems my cabaret dreams are about to come true. So, around to celebrate? I'm buying.
Ok.
Why not?
That's my boy. The foreman mentioned he saw you and Priscilla talking.
He's all right.
And she say anything about me?
She said something that made me think she's not entirely normal.
What?
That you're responsible, got your feet planted firmly on the ground.
You're pulling my leg.
Not this time. One thing's eating me. How do you manage to get the loan from Sophronia?
Ugh, wasn't easy. She got so excited about our performance, I had to read to her for 4 hours.
Joder.
4 hours from the cloak and the dagger.
You mean you didn't
Are you crazy? Who do you think I am?
Pues tú. Eres tú.
She's late, of course. She knew how important this night was to me.
Of course she did. Probably just making herself gorgeous. Takes time anyway.
So it's true. A woman's vanity knows no bounds.
Ask the dandelion. Priscilla, she's...
What? Speak, man.
Ah, toma por culo, joder, el Gerard, ha tirado la jarra.
been attacked. They took her to Valmerius Hospital.
Attacked? She's hurt? Geralt, come with me, please.
Of course, let's go.
Vámonos. Que no soy el hijo de puta que te ha puesto la mano encima, Priscila. Le reventamos la puta cara a hostias. Que lo reventamos, que estoy muy loco.
Gods. Priscilla. Is she gonna live?
I'd say that's certain. The condition's critical but stable.
Hostia, la ha reventado fácil,
A relative?
Relative? No, a friend. A very close friend.
Dandelion, correct? She uttered the name in her few moments of lucidity. I am Joachim von Gratz, head of surgery. Until recently, a lecturer at Oxenfurt Academy.
Enough of the courtesies. What are her injuries, besides her eye?
A concussion, cranial swelling, incision into her larynx, and scalding inside the throat and esophagus. Clearly someone forced her to imbibe a caustic fluid.
So this was no ordinary attack, no robbery.
Clearly not. It was the act of a demented mind, and not its first.
How can you know that?
I've seen wounds like this. They're not the kind one would forget, don't you agree? In fact, just this week a corpse turned up in the morgue with similar injuries. And no heart.
No heart? You mean that might have happened to Priscilla? Is someone looking into this?
This is Novigrad. Only the innocent burn here.
Geralt, I know I owe you 100 times over, but I need to ask you another favor.
No sé.
Find the bastard who did this.
No hace falta ni que me lo preguntes, tío, lo iba a hacer.
And kill him.
Sí.
Don't need any convincing. Come on, Dandelion. Let's think about what we can do.
No, se va a quedar.
I was just examining the previous victim's corpse. It has yet to be autopsied. Doing so could very well provide some clues.
Joder, este, ¿no? Qué bueno es.
No need to look astonished, gentlemen. As a surgeon, I know the importance of preventive medicine. Rather than wait for this maniac to strike again, I prefer to excise him.
Pues vamos.
Not unlike a tumor.
Great analogy, but this tumor's not gonna sit there, wait to be excised. Appreciate the help, but I doubt you know what you're getting yourself into.
I know perfectly well, and I assure you I can take care of myself.
Easy assurance to make, harder to back up, especially if you've spent your whole life wielding a scalpel, not a sword.
Look at this scar. Don't be shy. Any idea what leaves such a mark?
A flail. Morningstar, maybe.
What do you think? A blow sustained at the operating table? No? Let me repeat. I know what I'm doing.
Joder, que la han metido con un lucero del alba. Uf, qué dolor.
Into the morgue?
By the main entrance, certainly not. But you can also get inside through the sewers.
The sewers? Travel them often, Doctor?
As often as required for, the pursuit of preventive medicine.
Alternative treatments. Aggressive ones, I'm guessing. Interesting.
We can discuss this en route. Are you ready?
Yes. Vamos.
Ready and intrigued. I'll get whoever did this, Dandelion. Even if it's Hierarch Hemmelfart himself.
Thanks.
No tienes que agradecerme en nada, tío. Coño, que Priscila también es amiga mía. Cojones. Bueno, de Geralt. Así que obviamente la va a ayudar. No me jodas. Vamos. Es que no sé si el lucero del alba es lo que yo creo que es. Que es la bola con pinchos. Voy a mirarlo en un momentillo. Y seguimos, ¿vale? Es que creo que es lo que yo creo.
I tried to get the temple guard to enter the sewers, alas, to no avail.
Vaya.
So I took matters into my own hands.
Y me ponen...
Charge. You damned idealists, ruining the market for us.
El arma, gracias. Vale, sí. Es como una especie de maza, pero que es una bola con pinchos. Obviamente.
Hear that?
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon.
Tiro para su arma. ¿Esto qué me das? Vale, puto. ¡Chocha! No la pegues. Ahora. Mira, 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 mira. Cómo baja. No sé si es que no la da. O yo qué coño sé. Pero es esto. Gracias. Hola, bichos del inframundo. Vaya. Ahora. Perfecto. Uno muerto. Justamente al que ha ido la... Que te mueras, coño. Son como una hidra.
Yes, it's not far now.
Priscilla, how's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to a Trobrex. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count.
¿Dónde estás, amigo?
Take the ladder.
No le veo.
This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got someone to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Pastodi. Very well. We seek the corpse of a...
El licor enano me viene de puta madre, tío.
Calluses on the fingers, sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight
No
of
mucho,
blood.
la verdad.
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Vamos a verle las manos
Look at
primero.
his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience.
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him.
Muy bien, ya es suficiente.
See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard. Right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
Me lo puedo imaginar.
And a different sense of humor.
Vale, vamos a... Es que veo sangre.
We ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
Ya veremos.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Pero ya está.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
Puede ser.
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Wait a minute, there's something else.
¿Qué cojones? ¿Por qué tienes una puta flecha? O un virote. Y ¿qué sonido más asqueroso? ¡Ya, estate quieto! ¿Qué mierda es eso?
From an amphibian. A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken, or this is our murderer's doing.
¿Quién podría hacer eso?
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Bueno.
Once fought a zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue.
O sea, que tiene indicios de medicina, el asesino.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded.
La cabeza.
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt, like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
Pues no mucho.
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes, and some grey dust. Ash, it seems. Very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
Jodido psicópata, ¿no?
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
Pobrecillo, tío.
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel.
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed
Joder, qué psicópata, ¿no?
So the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Ya está.
All right, think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
Probar. Prefiero no compartir mis conclusiones. Ha sido un asesinato ritual, ha sido un castigo, no hay motivo, el asesino está loco, prefiero no compartir mis conclusiones. No está la que yo creo, que es una persona que quiera hacer avances científicos. Ha sido un castigo, supongo.
Sure of one thing. This was punishment.
Even the witch hunters don't engage in this kind of torture. What sin could
La
possibly
sífilis.
Only the murderer knows that, and it's the key to finding him, or her. It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer.
¿Qué cojones?
And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted. Drag others into trouble in the
El
process.
puto Gerald de Rivia.
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
Woodcarver's body. Where was it found? It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the market square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebirance was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver
está en una misma zona.
brought us the body. You should speak to him. Saw him just around the corner near... Oh, greetings, Your Reverence.
Who are these people? I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in under any circumstances.
You did, but they're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As Your Reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me. You shall leave via another route.
Why'd you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the
Que se tiene una flecha en la mano.
without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. But you didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your willfulness, I also wish to see this murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case?
Me alegro.
We'll let you know.
Thank you.
A lo mejor es el venerable. Vale, ya con el virote, ¿no?
Might have told me you know the coroner. We could have skipped the trip through the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him. I've said enough on the subject.
Don't aim to press you.
Thank you. I've nothing to hide. It's just an old wound, unhealed as yet.
Eres un amante.
What will you do now?
Plenty of leads.
No quería decir nada, simplemente es eso, que eran amantes. Y a lo mejor están mal. Me imagino que está diciendo, ¿y esto cuándo coño han entrado?
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
Me alegro.
And I'll keep my eye on you.
Ahí, ahí. Que sepa, que comprenda ahí la teoría. Ahí. Vale, pues hasta aquí el capítulo de hoy. Espero que hayáis disfrutado muchísimo. Dale a like si os ha gustado. Suscribiros si no estáis para que YouTube os avise que he hecho a vídeo. Tenéis links a descripción. Uno para Instant Gaming para que podáis comprar juegos más baraticos. Y el otro para Twitch, para esto, para que podáis verme en directo. Y nada más. Muchas gracias a todos y recordad sonreír gratis. Así que aprovechaos de ello. Un fuerte abrazo y hasta el siguiente capítulo. Adiós.